Okay, so welcome back to another quick review of some of my radio gear. Today we are doing a review of the Motorola MTH800. It is a handheld Tetra terminal manufactured by Motorola and commonly used by majority of the police forces in the UK. This one is a standard one. It is not band expanded, which you can do with the lab tool. This is a 380 to 430 model, so it touches right at the bottom of the amateur band in the all modes category, so that's fine. Or digital voice group, I should say. It's as standard with all Motorola's, it comes with a GPS, hence the reason we have two aerials here as well, short and long. And it can hold 1024 torque groups in chunked mode, and I think it's 250 or 500 in DMO. I can't remember which one. We'll clarify that on towards the end in the tech specs. As a demonstration, we're going to be using the clear tone radio, which you can see at the side here, to do a receive test so you can see what the audio sounds like coming via the Motorola. And as I do not currently have a speaker for the clear tone, we'll be using the Superior SRH3800, which will be in a review soon to follow up, so you can see what the audio sounds like coming back via that. So we'll get started. In the package you've got in front, you get two aerials, which are here. You've got the short and the long one. Size comparisons. What's that? We've also got the physical terminal itself with the battery pack installed. We've got the charge cradle and the power cable, which is coming back via the back. An accessory you probably will need to do anything with the terminal will be the programming cable, which looks like this. This works by basically connecting the connector at the bottom. There's the bottom of the radio or the bottom of your dock, and then there is actually a small circuit board in there where you can connect the power supply, so you can keep it powered. An old Motorola phone cable, I have been told, will also do the trick. So if you have one of those that use the Motorola large pin connector, apparently that will also work. Couple of quick facts about this. They are used by, I think it's about 85% of all the UK police forces. The other most common radio they use now are the Superior STP 900, I think, or 850, it's one of those two. The Motorola MTP850 or the Superior SRH3800 3500 series, so in that range. It's got GPS. This is on here in the location interface or test page. If you go to test page, you can go to position data, and if I had the aerial connected, it would be bringing up information relating to that. In actual fact, I will bring, if I can zoom in on my screen quickly, move the tripod. So there we go, we can see on the screen now. So if we go into the menu option and down to the more page and then go into location, interface, it means you can turn it on and off. For what we want the test page and then position, and this will give you GPS time, your location, height, how many satellites are in use, how off it is in degrees, and your speed. We'll cover that later on. In here at the moment I've got three torque groups: DMO, TG1, National 430, and this was used as a prop for one of my friends in a video. So we've also got a torque group on 430 called Airwave. They're the exact same one, they just have a different torque ID. As you see there, as I talked over the duration time, it timed back out and went back to the tick torque group we're actively on. So what we're going to do on here is we're going to install the aerials. We're going to use the short stubby aerial here, which is the smaller one. If I just bring the brightness back up. We're going to use this short aerial here, which quite simply screws in the top connector there. like so. Zoom out again as well, so you can actually see that's what the radio looks like with a aerial connected. Obviously there is also the longer antenna, which actually looks like that with the longer antenna on. There is actually not much in size difference. This is now trying to establish a GPS fix, so while it's doing that we'll do a quick overview of the radio. Starting off with, on the front you've got your standard keypad, 1 through 7, that's just come up with a low battery notification. There we go. Try it again, there you go. And there you go, it's got a message saying charge connected. You've got your standard keypad 147 star 2580 369 hash. You've also got the call hang up and call start if you're using this as a phone in a trunked system, in trunked mode operation, not direct mode. Full wave selector, your 2 soft context aware keys and your menu key. On the top of the radio you've got the emergency key and the channel selector. On the side 2 more context aware keys and your push to talk. I've just got the battery flat message, which means the radio has now turned off. So we'll just power this back up. Unfortunately the battery in this radio is actually quite bad. It doesn't actually hold charge very well. So we'll just put the passcode in there. And as you see now we're straight back in. Some of the features this radio supports in trunked mode are browser. You can have a web browser. As you go down to browser, so say service restricted, so I'll zoom in and change the brightness levels down again. So you've got browser, which the first message that comes up with there is service restricted, as it's not in a trunked system. You've also got your standard messages feature. Contacts, security options, so pin protect, change code, key lock, air crypt, key fidelity, which is what you use for a trunk system, especially in the UK on the airwave network. Covert mode, which turns all the features off. I'm just going to turn the light off so you can see the screen a bit clearer. Yes, the keypad is also backlit. That's all in security. In the more you've got setup, your group setup, favourites, the info of your radio, so private number, your phone number, radio info, so Motorola MTH800, release name is what the release is, my ISI, the TEI, serial number, which will be blurred out. You've also got your private number, which is what your radio number is, and your phone number, which is there, which I also now need to blur out. Recent calls, shortcuts, networks, and then you've got the 3 types here. So you've got trunked mode, which is TMO, direct mode, which is DMO, and TXI, which is transmit inhibit mode. This basically turns off the transmit key, which is where you use an explosive or environments where radio transmissions are prohibited, such as hospitals, and your GPS info. This still has not got a lock on yet, and it might not time inside. That's it. If you go to the options on your homepage, you've got your folder, talk group by folder, talk group by ABC, trunked mode, and your config. And this is MS, mobile subscriber to mobile subscriber, gateway, repeater, and gateway plus repeater if it's a shared repeater, if it's a shared gateway. Due to the fact I do not own a repeater or a gateway, we are using MS to MS configuration, although it will automatically default to a gateway if it detects one. Contacts, these are contacts, so you've got my 3 radios in there, my clear tone, my 2 superiors. So what we'll do now is we're going to do an audio test so you can see what the quality audio is like via this radio. So I will just connect my microphone up for the clear tone. I'll also turn the light back on. So what I'll do is we're going to change into the test group I have made up for my friend when he did his prop. I'm now going to disappear outside the room so you can see what the audio quality is like without hearing me talk over it.
This is an example of the audio quality of an MTH800 via a clear tone 9000 base information mobile station.
That took a lot longer than I wanted to there. Some of the other things this radio supports is STS status messaging, so I will send a status message via the clear tone now, and as you can see it's detected as a message. So we've now got some messages on here, hence the reason we have the message icon at the top of the screen. If you want to view a message, it is... let's change your talk groups. If you go to your main menu and messages, you have your inbox. So you have who it's off, so that's the radio number. The status, so that's the status code. And when it was received. The status code I actually sent there was status 1 located at office. If that was a program status code in the radio, it would detect it straight away. There is now a Superior SRH3800, which we are going to use as the audio quality purposes. I will be back in a minute with a transmit off the radio.
This is an example of the audio coming from an MTH800 via a Superior SRH3800.
So that is the audio quality coming via an MTH800. Other features the radio supports is emergency mode, where if I transmit an emergency key, it now goes into emergency mode, and this is off the Superior where the mic is keyed up live. To finish its talk, it's going to trigger again. And we've got another 30 seconds to talk. This is a 30-30 configuration, so alarm 30 seconds, wait 30 wait. It'll key up for 30 seconds, it'll key up again. Okay, and that's my emergency reservation timer finished, so it can now be a two-way communication rather than one-way. This means it then reverts back to having to push the PTT key. So I push the PTT key, and you can actually hear that it's there. It does say emergency in use, so it just means it's an emergency channel in use, not that that radio's queued the emergency. That's finished. If I key an emergency off the Motorola, so push down the red key, so that is my Superior alerting me there's been an emergency call. The battery has actually died, so the reservation time is finished as well. At the same time. Quick fact about this, they push a maximum of 1.3 watts of output power via the antenna. There is a GPS, it can support up to 9 GPS satellites at any one point that it can see. Other features about the radio, the form factor compared to a more conventional radio is... I will find one quickly. So this is my PD785, there, in terms of size. The Motorola's form factor, as you can see, is slightly slimmer. The reason why it curves out at the back is there is traditionally a belt clip that fits here. I'm just going to adjust the focus. There we go. There's traditionally a belt clip that fits there. You have an audio jack on the side and a multi-purpose data terminal connection at the bottom. To take the back cover off, it's the push clip down and slide off. Then obviously take that out. One thing to be aware of when you are buying one of these is on the label there, if I correct my zoom again, it states the word clear. If that says TA2, there is a high possibility, especially in the UK, it is a stolen radio. In fact, in the UK, it is a stolen radio because you cannot get TA2 gear in the UK. It is restricted to police and officials. The battery is a slightly more chunkier version of a... hold on, I'm just going to refocus the camera. Slightly more chunky version of a standard Motorola phone battery with the 4 terminals at the back. This one's dead, unfortunately, which I'm quite sad about. On the back there is also what looks like a SIM card cover there. It is not a SIM card cover, it is where you can put an encryption card, traditionally used by trunked networks. The weight of the radio when it is fully kitted out is just shy of 350 grams, I was going to say kilograms there. just readjust the camera's autofocus. There we go. And yeah, other than that, it's a brilliant radio apart from the battery. I can't really test it, unfortunately, either, with the battery range being so short. The physical radio itself I can't beat, apart from the fact batteries are extremely expensive for it. They're £20. And also getting accessories for it in terms of like replacement clips for the back, like click fasts or things like that, are also really hard to come by. Okay guys, so I'm going to end the video here. I'd like to say thank you to everyone that's actually watched the video. Drop a comment below saying which radio you want to see next time. Any radios I've already reviewed will be in the window above. Click on the annotation to see that review or the playlist associated with that radio. If you want to check out the UK Digital Group Forum, which I am one of the members of, there's a link to that down in the description. All the other links to the YouTube channels that I associate with are in the description. And feel free to drop a comment or interact with me on the forum. And I'll say 73 and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.